Hey, House to Home. We are chilling today, second floor of the Stone House on 19th Street. Andrea, are you done looking around?
I guess.
You're goofing around, aren't you?
We are literally chilling in here.
I know, it's kind of chilly out in here, isn't it?
Out in here?
Out in, tell you what. I just maybe I
This
just
guy.
I'm not having a good day, am I? I'm actually having a great day.
Right.
I know, we just started. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk about what's happening in the house. We got Ken Loos.
Loos.
Ken Loos is coming. I can't remember that name. And then we have Tara and Marion.
That's a wrap.
We'll be right back.
Faster than you can Google home equity loan, the Bank of Hays can have that line of credit at your fingertips in less time than you'll spend calling an 800 number to get service from a chain bank. The Bank of Hays has already met any needs you might have. You see, at Bank of Hays, we bring you something in banking no one else can. The idea of here and now, meeting all your financing needs now because we're right here in Hays. From financing a car to a home, let us help you now.
Here, now, wow!
Natural gas is a clean, safe, economical energy source when installed and used properly. Your gas furnace or stove should have a steady blue flame. If not, call a qualified contractor for service. And if you smell that distinctive natural gas odor, leave your home or business immediately. Call Midwest Energy from a neighbor's phone and we'll be right there. Gas safety tips from Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative making energy work for you.
Glassman is ready to help you beat the heat. With Carrier Cool Cash, the season to save is now. There's never been a better time to upgrade to Carrier quality and efficiency. Now through June 30th, you can claim up to $14.50 in Cool Cash rebates on a new system or receive 60-month financing. Don't wait. Cool Cash is only available for limited time. Turn to the experts. Call Glassman now.
Heating and air. The choice is perfectly clear. Glassman Plumbing, Heating and
The world is full of remarkable things, but some things are so remarkable that you may not have noticed. And that's the point. For 50 years, 3M has engineered advanced window films that make glass remarkable. Films for homes that help reduce heat, block harmful UV rays, protect interiors from fading, and save on energy costs. Rooms stay cooler, so you can enjoy a warm cuddle. Now that's remarkable.
It's graduation month.
I wasn't sure.
This is
graduation
it.
or marriage, and I'm like, no, I think I'll hang out back
This is the
here.
real thing. I'm telling you, my day has been this way. I woke up drinking tequila. I'm going to bed drinking tequila. Sorry, we didn't step on the X.
There we go.
Welcome back to House to Home. Holy moly, there's been a lot going on. We have a lot going on today. We got a lot of people to talk to. We got a lot of things going on. You keep screwing around. You're not paying attention.
No, look at all the
You're messing up the words. Yes, there's a lot happening in the house. We've got a new bathtub put in. We've been grinding out the cracks. What? We're grinding out the cracks so we can put the mud in them. Spackle the crack.
Okay.
Why can't we just be serious for once? You know, I'm gonna spend 2 seconds on something before we go anywhere. I had a friend of mine say that he's watched our show several times. He's learned a little. That should offend me, but I agree.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
So, before we get going too much further, I just wanted to take a moment and just kind of run through the house and just, new bathtub. We've been getting cracks ready up here on the second floor. The heating and air is put in. We are done working in the crawl space. Thank God, because I am so tired of crawling around that crawl space. I mean, I think I've only crawled in there twice, but I feel guilty for my help having to crawl around the crawl space. Misa, he's become like a crawl space worm. The electrical is 99% done. Yesterday he told me, I think we are almost done. We've almost got all the electrical run, Chris. It's almost done. I'm like, well, guess what? We forgot to run the complete circuit for the smoke detector system. So we worked on that today, but we've almost got all the plumbing lines put in, all the PEX lines are put in, all the drains are put in.
Drywall's going up.
What's that?
Drywall's going up.
Drywall is going up. Oh my goodness, I'm telling you, we have been,
The kitchen looks totally different. There's a door that's not there anymore.
I'm glad that we're kind of starting to wind down this baby, because when you talk about eating an elephant, this has been eating this is a big old elephant to eat. This house has been. Started out what I thought was going to be small, but
You thought this would be small? I think you're the only person that thought this would be small.
and you always kind of been harping on budget and a plan. And
I know. Well, really, what's going on here?
Well, we just need to tape that to the wall.
Or is that going to save on your budget to
That's
tape
budget.
it?
Well, yeah, if we don't put screws, save 2 screws. So I think what we need to do is we need to bring in some professionals.
Keep you on track.
We're going to keep some professionals to keep us on track to talk about some money stuff, the budget plan. If I run out of cash, where do I go to get it? How can I what do I do? And then I think we need to bring in Ken. I'm not even going to say his last name. Ken from High Plains Mental Health.
Los.
Ken Loos.
Los. I said it, just repeat. We should go.
Oh my God, we should go. We will be right back with somebody that knows what they're talking about. And that's questionable too. We'll be right back.
No more cracks.
Midwest Energy is a cooperative, meaning that our electric and natural gas customers are also our owners. Serving nearly 92,000 customers in 41 counties in central and western Kansas, Midwest Energy's employees are proud to bring you safe, reliable, and affordable energy services. Learn more at mwenergy.com. Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative, making energy work for you.
It's campaign 2016. Hi there, everyone. Karen from the Furniture Look in beautiful downtown Hazen. We've got some serious border issues to resolve.
There's a liberal selection of new and exciting furniture coming in daily, and our walls just aren't big enough.
So we're pulling out the conservative card and we're marking everything down.
Closeouts on every category in the store: bedroom, dining room, and living room. So stop on by, shop the Furniture Look. We're your front runner in quality home furnishings, downtown Hayes.
Faster than you can Google home equity loan, the Bank of Hayes can have that line of credit at your fingertips. In less time than you'll spend calling an 800 number to get service from a chain bank, the Bank of Hayes has already met any needs you might have. You see, at Bank of Hayes, we bring you something in banking no one else can. The idea of here and now, meeting all your financing needs now because we're right here in Hayes. From financing a car to a home, let us help you now.
Here, now, wow!
The world is full of remarkable things, but some things are so remarkable that you may not have noticed. And that's the point. For 50 years, 3M has engineered advanced window films that make glass remarkable. Films for homes that help reduce heat, block harmful UV rays, protect interiors from fading, and save on energy costs. Rooms stay cooler, so you can enjoy a warm cuddle. Now that's remarkable.
Welcome back to House to Home. We have some guests today, and I can already tell you that I'm a little irritated with them because they know a lot. They know. It's like they were talking numbers before we started, and I bet them a Budweiser that I knew more, and I need to go get beer out of my cooler, I think. Is that probably a good thing?
I think you're right on.
So Andrea and I were upstairs earlier, and we were talking about, this house and all the work we're doing and all these things we're tearing up, and Andrea kind of mentioned something about money again. She's always worried about money, money, and I just spend. Budget. We don't need a budget. Who needs it? We need a budget.
You probably should. Sorry.
There's another beer. Let's see. That's 4. That's 6. I'm gonna need 5. That's 11. We get a 12-pack. We need a 12-pack. Okay. So we have Tara and Marion here from Bank of Hayes.
Correct.
And that's a local bank.
Absolutely.
And so my first question is this: why a local bank? What's the upside to a local bank?
It gives you flexibility. If an individual runs into a situation where they have a cost overrun on a project and things, we're real people. We can sit down and try to find a solution versus going someplace else and seeing what their opinion is. And with the authorities that we have as far as legal lending limit per loan officer, most generally we can find reasonable solution.
You know, I want to tell you something. You got to stop using big words. Lending limit per loan officer. See what I mean? We bring in painters and they make fun of us because we don't know what we're doing. Everybody knows more than us. I'm sorry.
I would like to add to that Marion has so many years of experience that his brain thinks a lot differently than the rest of ours. So he's always got ideas on how to help you with your finances.
Yeah, and I mean that makes a big difference. And I mean it is like redoing an old house. You want to bring in people that know what's going on. You know, you don't want to bring in a plumber that thinks, you know, poop runs uphill. See, it's all going downhill. I told you if I say it, it's going to be okay. So now let's think ahead now. So if I want to, you know, we always talk about buying a new house or I'm buying a house, but what if I'm in here and I want to redo my kitchen or I want to gut my bathroom? Where do I start? I mean, other than my plan of the bathroom, where do you guys come in?
You need to come to us with estimates first, for sure. That way we can
money.
Yes, money.
Budget.
So we can budget. Yeah.
And how are we going to know? So let's say I walk in and I say, okay, here's my plan. Will you take a pencil drawing of a bathroom?
You'll have to ask him that question.
Sure.
Okay. So
I
sketch it out, and I bring in a budget. I've gone out and got some prices on a new bathtub and new cast iron toilets that we've talked about, not cast iron toilets, bathtubs.
Thank you.
And cast iron toilets. I tell you what, I
I
need one of those beers. So I bring in this stuff and I sit down and I say, you know, okay, here's where I live. I want to borrow X amount of dollars to redo this room. Where do we begin with you guys then? What would be the first step? Do I need to figure out what my house is worth, or how do you help me with that?
That would be a good start. You know, determine what your house is worth in relationship if you have a loan or not. Is there equity there? And then from that point, then we would decide whether we'd want to refinance your house, take the cash out that you have as equity, and use that cash for your project. Or we can look at a couple other options, and those being a second mortgage on your home with a shorter term payout, like a 10-year payout, or a home equity line that would be based on the equity that you have in your house. But we would also take a look at those improvements and whether they add value to the house.
Yeah, because you got to think that. Okay, so first of all, my question is what is equity?
That is the difference between the market value of your home and what you owe.
Okay. What is 468 plus 7 plus minus 4 divided by 6?
That's a good question.
See, I stumped him. That's a beer back in my can.
Wait. So I have a question.
Okay.
So if you decide that the project isn't going to improve the home's value any, but I still really want to do it, are you still going to... Is there still plans there? Can we?
Well, you may have to scale back your ideas because generally there's some room there as a rule, unless you've only been in the home a couple of years and you acquired a 100% loan. But you know, sometimes it is a process of several stages. You do a payback and then you go to the next stage.
Oh, okay.
There are other people that have family members that'll help them a little bit so they can complete the project.
Okay.
So and I think that's one of the big things I always think about is you know, I think it's so often I see people and they want the big fancy house right away, and then they get the 100% loan, and when they go in, they're literally teetering on the edge already at day one of having any equity built in their house. And obviously, I like to build my own equity. I call it sweat equity. I don't know. Exactly.
Equity. No equity.
Yeah. When you have no budget or plan and you just kind of winging it. Yeah. The goal is to come out ahead.
Thank you for coming in.
Here's a free toaster. So the years of experience. What are you? You've been working with him how long?
Around 7 years.
And what do you take away from like his knowledge? I mean, how does that help you?
He's always got some kind of plan for something. I mean, if you think that you can't afford it or you can't do it, he'll figure it out.
And so
that's what we've always come up, or that's what I come up with.
And I think that's the small town side of things, where a lot of times if you have the bigger banks, it's kind of hard to get that personal. And it does help. It does help a lot when you come in and sit down, and you've probably seen about every scenario there is out there, except for me. I mean, I am a special case, but I'm going to
Yes.
guess most other cases you've seen a lot.
Yeah.
over the-
There are people, they have the want, they have the capability, they just don't know how to bring that together. They have a fear they can't afford it. So
Right.
that's why we tried to put the package together and see how it changes the value. Tara and I, we work together as a team, and a lot of times we have projects and we kind of bounce it back and forth and look at it from the borrower side. You know, what does it make sense to lay that much cash out every month to enjoy what we have? And what are they taking away from their social life and basics? Okay?
Yeah, because you have to live. Number
Correct.
one, you have to live, and then you have to count for all those other things that go in it. But if you really want to redo something, and that's cool. That's what I love about a hometown bank. That's why I've always tried to work with hometown banks. I think it's important and have that relationship you can start up with people. And I think it also helps when you go out there and you kind of come up with an idea and a plan. Like she's been redoing her bathroom, and I'm proud of her because she saved up the money first to go do it. And I think that's cool because a lot of times that doesn't happen these days, and people kind of forget about it. But if you go out and get that budget, you put together a plan, you holler at Tara or this ornery guy right here that does numbers in his sleep, then you can bring a package together. It's very cool. Well, thank you guys for coming and kind of straightening us out. I'm not going to listen to you, but I hope they listen to you. We will be right back.
Looking for a new career? Midwest Energy has great careers in electric and natural gas utilities throughout central and western Kansas. We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a wide variety of field and administrative positions. Most positions require community or technical college, and internships are available. Learn more at mwenergy.com. Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative making energy work for you.
Glassman is ready to help you beat the heat. With Carrier Cool Cash, the season to save is now. There's never been a better time to upgrade to Carrier quality and efficiency. Now through June 30th, you can claim up to $14.50 in Cool Cash rebates on a new system or receive 60-month financing. Don't wait! Cool Cash is only available for limited time. Turn to the experts. Call Glassman now.
Heating and air, the choice is perfectly clear. Glassman Plumbing, Heating and
The world is full of remarkable things, but some things are so remarkable that you may not have noticed. And that's the point. For 50 years, 3M has engineered advanced window films that make glass remarkable. Films for homes that help reduce heat, block harmful UV rays, protect interiors from fading, and save on energy costs. Rooms stay cooler, so you can enjoy a warm cuddle. Now that's remarkable.
Faster than you can Google home equity loan, the Bank of Hayes can have that line of credit at your fingertips. In less time than you'll spend calling an 800 number to get service from a chain bank, the Bank of Hayes has already met any needs you might have. You see, at Bank of Hayes, we bring you something in banking no one else can. The idea of here and now, meeting all your financing needs now because we're right here in Hayes. From financing a car to a home, let us help you now.
Here, now, wow!
Welcome back to House to Home. We've moved from over there to over here. We've moved our ladder. We are high tech today. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think they've seen our ladder yet.
You know, and after Marion and Tara were here, I got to be honest with you. I'm feeling a little inept in my math.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, interest
We're all
rates and
that.
477, and he rounds it up to 5 and deducts 2 and budgets. And
Yeah, I kind of just glazed over
he
after
talked
a while,
about
but, yeah.
things that just irritate me. You know, there's something about bankers that have always irritated me.
Mm.
Probably kind of like plumbers, huh?
I'd rather deal with the plumber.
You know. Sorry.
Yeah. I'll leave the bankers to my husband. 'cause,
Yeah, exactly. I'm grateful they were here. Now, to help us with that, because when you talk about budgeting and planning and do you have enough equity and does my house appraise for enough, and you talk about all this kind of stuff, and ironically, it's kind of weird that we're doing this today. You know why?
Why?
Would you believe that, I don't know if you noticed on my Facebook page, but today would have been my son's 26th birthday.
Wow.
He will be gone 10 years this Christmas. So we have brought in a friend of ours, and I'm not even going to pretend. Hey, come on up here, young man. You know, the last time you were here, I totally butchered your name like 12 times.
12 times?
Well, at least 12
okay.
times.
Right.
So this guy right here.
Yeah.
Your name?
I respond. Ken Loos.
Ken Loos. Loos.
Loos.
See,
Loos. Loos.
Loos.
There we go
Loos.
again.
Here
Yeah. Cut.
No, we're not cutting. We're not cutting anything. So earlier in the show we talked about, you know, redoing this house and going through all this work and tearing up the walls and all the electrical and all, you know, taking something old and making it new again. And when, you know, when do you tear it down? When do you rebuild? I mean, there's a lot of things to think about when you talk about redoing an old house. And it's very ironic we're standing here today is because, you know, I remember after my son died, I heard a lot of times, well, it's just going to get easier as time goes. I can also remember people saying, you know, he's in a better place. All these different things were said. Yeah. And I honestly thought 10 years into this that I would wake up on his birthday and be like, it's his birthday. So what? My emotions are right here.
Yeah.
Hanging. You know, saw a picture of him this morning, started crying. I mean, it's Mental Health Month.
May is Mental Health Month, yes.
Kind of ironic that this all transpires and we have a mourning dove cooing away. I thought they only coo. Do mourning dove coo?
We'll go with it. We'll run with it. I don't think any of us are ornithologists. Yeah, I can't say that either.
Wow.
Oh my God, another
ornithologist.
Another big
I
word.
know.
It's just a day of words.
What is Mental Health Month?
Mental Health Month, it's been around since, I believe, the 40s, Chris, really designed to bring awareness to mental health issues. You know, for those of us in the profession, mental health is 365 days a year, all the time. But, you know, I think May is a great month to kind of focus on just kind of, you think about life changes, graduation, you think about people moving away, maybe planning to go to school, wedding season is coming up. And so there's something symbolic about transitions in general and just, you know, that's part of life. And, you know, grieving, which is not a mental illness, grieving is a natural process that we all go through.
Well, wait a minute. No, I've been told the opposite.
And grieving is a mental illness?
That is something that it's something that's wrong.
No, depression is a mental illness.
Well, doesn't depression come along with grieving?
Not always, no. Grieving, some of the things that separate out, grieving, of course, intense pain, intense loss. You mentioned your son. It's not something that completely goes away. That's not...
well, now that we know.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say we, that I know. It is something that does not go away. I mean, actually, I think at times it gets more intense. I think it doesn't get easier. I think I've learned to work with it better, maybe is the best way to say with it about that. But so what, give me an example. So if grief is not a mental illness, what is a mental illness then?
Well, I think you made a good comparison to depression because a lot of people get those confused. With grief, natural part of life, we all go through losses. We all go, you know, grieve things that have changed in our lives. It could be an older person, they start to grieve their independence. They're losing that, the ability to take care of themselves. Individuals that have to downsize when we lose loved ones, family members. But the thing about grief is, no matter how tough it is, how hard it is, there's still some sense of hope. There's still some sense of, you know, I've got some really good family support. I've got a great church community. I've got people that really care about me. I'm going to get through this. I don't like where I'm at right now, but I will get through this. Where depression, by definition, there's hopelessness. So a person feels like, I am in a very dark, scary place. It's not going to get any better. And on top of that is a helplessness. There's nothing I can do to make it better. And so it's a fundamental difference.
There is a difference.
Grief and depression.
Absolutely. I see that, and I think there are a lot of, you know that because that's what you do, and you understand those. I think a lot of people don't. One of the, I just came back from Atlanta about a month ago. I was down there at the International Suicidology Conference and taught the Birdhouse Project.
Great organization.
It is, yeah. And I was horrified going into that conference because it's a world I don't really understand, but I walked away with more of an understanding of, when you have a tendency to say the word suicide, people just kind of tend to boop, they're gone. But the big topic the whole time we were there was depression. I mean, that's what it was kind of over and over, is how people struggle and get kind of, they just get caught in that, and then they just don't see a way out in that hopelessness. I mean, how do you help somebody that has that hopeless feeling? I mean, where do you even begin?
Well, that's a great question, and I think, it's one of those answers that maybe frustrates people. It's individual. Everybody is different. And, so some individuals, it can really be giving them a safe, secure, confidential environment to just say, you know what, you can lay out your vulnerabilities here. You can lay out what's bothering you, and it's okay. We are going to hang in there with you. That can be enough for some people. For others, it might be a short-term medication to just kind of get them past that point of where they're unable to get out of bed, or they feel like, people who have depression will say that it's like my body is made of lead, I can barely move.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes medication is needed to kind of help with those immediate symptoms, and then they can engage with therapy, or they can engage in some kind of an intervention.
Well, and what do you do with somebody who's resistant to opening up or seeking help?
That's a great question, and it's one of those things that you hope that with a little bit of time, some people will actually buy into therapy. Young people in particular can be a little bit like, who are you? I don't know you. Why should I talk to you?
Yeah.
If you're dealing with a young person, let's say in foster care as an example, you're one more adult who's saying, yeah, talk to me, and then I'll never see you again.
Right.
You're not going to be there. So sometimes it's time. It's just kind of that consistency. Other times it's just one of those things to talk about and say, when life is not going that well for us, sometimes just sharing that, even if we can't fix it like this, even if we can't cure everything immediately, just the fact that you share your pain, your sorrow, what's going on, can make you feel a little bit more hopeful. At least you're not alone. And so for some individuals, that's the starting point. There's a name to this, there's a descriptor, and more importantly for us, there's a course of treatment. If we know it's depression, we know these kinds of strategies work.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, you'll stick around for a few more minutes with us.
Sure, happy to.
When we get back, I want to go somewhere with that, so we will be back in a moment.
It's Campaign 2016. Hi there, everyone. Karen from the Furniture Looking Beautiful downtown Hazen. We've got some serious border issues to resolve.
There's a liberal selection of new and exciting furniture coming in daily, and our walls just aren't big enough.
So we're pulling out the conservative card and we're marking everything down.
Closeouts on every category in the store: bedroom, dining room, and living room. So stop on by, shop the Furniture Look. We're your front runner in quality home furnishings, downtown Hayes.
Glassman is ready to help you beat the heat. With Carrier Cool Cash, the season to save is now. There's never been a better time to upgrade to Carrier quality and efficiency. Now through June 30th, you can claim up to $14.50 in Cool Cash rebates on a new system or receive 60 months financing. Don't wait! Cool Cash is only available for limited time. Turn to the experts. Call Glassman now.
Heating and air. The choice is perfectly clear. Glassman Plumbing, Heating.
The world is full of remarkable things, but some things are so remarkable that you may not have noticed. And that's the point. For 50 years, 3M has engineered advanced window films that make glass remarkable. Films for homes that help reduce heat, block harmful UV rays, protect interiors from fading, and save on energy costs. Rooms stay cooler, so you can enjoy a warm cuddle. Now that's remarkable.
Each year, about 400 electrocutions occur in the United States. You can avoid shock by knowing one basic premise. Electricity always seeks the easiest path to the ground, and you are a perfect conductor. Stay 20 feet from damaged power lines. And if down wires touch your car, don't get out, stay inside and call for help. And don't let others touch the car until it's safe. Electrical safety tips from Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative making energy work for you.
Welcome back to House Home, and we've kept you around, and big thing, Andrea, you know what? I always love it when you stick around at the end.
Oh, thanks.
I hate shooing you off. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, when we left, you talked about this vulnerability thing, and for me, probably the best thing I ever did, but the toughest step I ever took was to become vulnerable, kind of to my own emotions, my own, I can face it. This world, I shouldn't say world, this society we live in, when you start to say, hey, I want to talk about my feelings, that's when people start peeling out. You know what I mean?
Potentially, yeah.
I mean, potentially.
True, yeah.
I mean, you're in a situation where, you talk about young people. Is there a group of people, is it the young, the middle-aged, the old, that are more willing to talk, or does it come just back down to situations and types of people?
I think a lot of it is situations and types of people. I think, when you think about this part of the country, there's a lot of stoicism. There's a lot of pride. There's a lot of, I don't want to burden other people with my problems. A lot of men who will seek out services will talk about, I don't want to come across as a whiner. I don't want people to think.
I'll whine for hours, dude. I'll whine so much it turns red.
Well, that's ba-dum-bum-sh. Okay. But that's good. And it's one of those things because it's, for a lot of individuals, if you try to do everything on your own, you will reach that point you can't.
Yeah.
Whether you use the metaphor of a pressure cooker or, anything you look at where pressure is just building and building, just keep shaking up a can of pop, and you expect to open it and it doesn't explode in your face. The bottom line is we all have our limits.
Yeah.
And so I think there are certain population groups, the older generations tend to be very concerned with mental health.
Yeah.
That's really for somebody else. That's really for somebody who has really bad problems. That's not me, kind of thing. And yet they're very they're surprised, delighted when interventions make a difference in their life as well. But the bottom line is just for people who feel like they can openly talk. And some individuals have really good support systems, and maybe they never need kind of therapy. But other times when you talk about people peeling out or tuning out, sometimes because they don't know what to say, they're afraid of what you might tell them, that's where the confidential relationship in a formal therapy setting makes a difference, where we don't have all these complicated relationships with our clients. This is your time, this is your hour.
Yeah.
Let's focus on what you need to focus on, and let's talk about that.
And I think that is, I've gone to therapy before, and one of the things that I found so inviting is because you could go into there and you literally could sit down and just dump it out. I've had a couple friends that I've sat down and started to tell them what I was thinking, and all of a sudden that deer in the headlight look comes, and they're like,
I was gonna expect them to get this much.
God,
right.
dude,
I just asked you how you were doing. I expected you to say fine.
Yeah, I didn't expect you to tell me.
What?
Yeah, and that happens a lot.
Yes,
it
does. Yeah.
But when you're in that situation, I mean, I've even found confidence in you, where I can visit with you about things that are going on in my life, and I don't, because I know she's not going to judge me, and she just says, hey, here's how it is, what I see, and
nice.
And I think you can find some of those people, but often, you do need, especially if you're in that hopeless. I was shocked when I was down in Atlanta at that conference when I heard the statistic that each day it was 20 or 22 military people commit suicide a day.
Die by suicide.
I could not believe that. A day. More by suicide than in combat.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And you talk about a group of people that are taught to be stoic.
Yeah.
Tough, strong, can do, stoic,
And so talk about, trying to overcome, and not that there's one level of mental illness or anything that's more than another, but, and I always hate that when people say, well, you're I can't imagine anything worse than your son dying. Well, I can't imagine, and you get, it's a game you almost get into with your mind.
Right.
To justify where you are.
Right.
Does that make sense? And I don't know how you help a person figure that all out, but.
Well, you're bringing up something, Chris, that's really kind of normal, and that's that idea that you put things in perspective. And people do that all the time. Well, they'll say, well, when I think about the rest of the world or think about a situation, my situation's not so bad. I have it better off than most people.
Right.
And that could be true.
Right.
But does that make you feel any better? Does that really feel like you've been free to talk about something? And really, it's always kind of putting it back in a box.
Right.
And I think
it's
that's
like
just
short-term relief.
Short-term relief, maybe.
Really, you're looking for long-term growth out of the thing.
Long-term growth, recognizing we all have our vulnerabilities. If you don't like that word, and I think you're right, some people in our neck of the woods kind of bristle at the term vulnerability. Well, then we all have our weaknesses, or we have things we're not as good at, and that's part of maybe dealing with our emotions, dealing with our past, dealing with some hurtful things.
Yeah, and I remember when we first started doing this show, how people are like, how are you going to tie any of this into a house? I think what is cool is about houses and people and us and the way we live and mental illness and hopelessness and all these things is, if your faucet drips, you can fix it. But if you have a sewer leak in your crawl space and you open the lid and you're like, oh, that's not good, and you just close the lid.
Well, I can't fix that.
I can't fix that, so
I don't want to.
I'm just going to put a box on top of that.
Right.
That happens a lot.
Yes, it's a good metaphor.
I mean, really and truthfully, somebody's going to have to, maybe you can't do it yourself.
Right.
We bring the plumber in and we say, I'm sorry, but let's take the lid off of this because we really need to take a look at this. And you can work through that and figure that out and you can fix it, I think.
And hopefully the sooner the better, because the longer you let it sit, the worse it can affect other things.
Exactly. And right. And that is that,
Really
that
good
affects
metaphor,
this.
yeah.
Affects the foundation,
Yeah.
which affects the electrical, which affects. It's good stuff, man. I tell you what, I always like when you come on. You always kind of bring you're kind of like our foundation in a way, You kind of bring us back to why we're doing this show.
Thick as a brick? Is that what you're saying?
As you are as thick as a brick. I like that.
Okay. All right.
And you brought your own mourning dove. I mean, how much better can this?
Yeah.
Is that a record or is that a tape playing in your car?
More than likely, on High Plains' budget, it would have to be a tape playing in my car. I don't think.
Good stuff. Thank you for joining us. We're going to have you back again. As always, it's something having this young lady with us, but we will see you. Well, Hunsafoot's behind that camera.
Yeah, you can't forget.
That's our low budget part right there. We will see you next time on House to Home.
Midwest Energy is a cooperative, meaning that our electric and natural gas customers are also our owners. Serving nearly 92,000 customers in 41 counties in central and western Kansas, Midwest Energy's employees are proud to bring you safe, reliable, and affordable energy services. Learn more at mwenergy.com. Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative, making energy work for you.
It's Campaign 2016. Hi there, everyone. Karen from the Furniture looking beautiful downtown Hazen. We've got some serious border issues to resolve.
There's a liberal selection of new and exciting furniture coming in daily, and our walls just aren't big enough.
So we're pulling out the conservative card and we're marking everything down.
Closeouts on every category in the store: bedroom, dining room, and living room. So stop on by, shop the Furniture Look. We're your front runner in quality home furnishings, downtown Hayes.
Glassman is ready to help you beat the heat. With Carrier Cool Cash, the season to save is now. There's never been a better time to upgrade to Carrier quality and efficiency. Now through June 30th, you can claim up to $1,450 in Cool Cash rebates on a new system or receive 60-month financing. Don't wait. Cool Cash is only available for limited time. Turn to the experts. Call Glassman now.
Heating and air. The choice is perfectly clear. Glassman Plumbing, Heating.
If you're ready to replace your bath or shower enclosure and want a professional installation, stop by Advantage Glass Plus in Hayes. Select a standard or customized enclosure, framed or frameless, with hinged, pivoting, or sliding doors. Give your bath some personality and style with patterned glass available in many textures, including obscured, clear, and rain. Let the glass experts from Advantage Glass Plus create your new bath enclosure. 1005 Vine in Hayes. Find our ad in the Next Tech directory.
You know, Andrea, budget. We have old Hunsafoot's behind the camera.
Yeah.
And I think we've reached an all-new low here.
Yeah.
Although I do have to agree that, I don't know if you like Mike Herner He's getting a little thin. A little thin and
a
shiny.
little short.
He changed his last name
he's
to
tall
Werner.
Werner? Yeah.
I don't know. I think we could do better.
I'm thinking if everybody else is taking off for vacation, I should
Maybe
too.
we should take off.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. I'm done. I quit.